Today I recorded a video for a fish appetizer that I will be sharing with you guys very soon, so be sure to check that out. And my husband and I took a trip to the local Sam's Club, and although I'm not surprised of the reaction from people, it was very surprising to see that they were surprised because we've been getting the warnings for quite some time, and if you've been a long-time prepper, you know what I mean. Good morning, you guys. I don't normally do this, but I am at my local Sam's Club, and even though we are all preppers and we've been prepping for so many years, I have to share with you guys that I've been able to see and watch the people's faces as they walk through Sam's Club and seeing all the empty aisles, especially the toilet paper, paper towel, and water aisle. Obviously, I can't record their faces. I wish I could. But in one instance, I watched a gentleman with an empty cart walk over to the water aisle and place his hands on his head in shock when he saw that the aisle was completely empty. And then as I'm walking behind him, I also watched his reaction when he noticed there was no toilet paper or paper towel. So the panic is real, you guys. This is exactly why we're preppers, so that we don't have to be like those people shocked when they walk into the store thinking that they'll be able to grab what they need and they find nothing but empty aisles. I am in Florida, so we just had a hurricane that was pretty devastating, and my thoughts and prayers go out to the victims in Florida, North Carolina, and Georgia. But I just wanted to share with you guys my experience so that you can see that this is definitely real. Keep on prepping, you guys. And like my friend Alaska Prepper says, if you don't have 50 pounds of butter in your freezer or your pantry, you're not a prepper. So I picked up some extra butter that I will be canning. I have some mozzarella cheese that I'm going to be treating my family this weekend to an Italian feast. Some spaghetti sauce that I'm going to put up on the long-term pantry. And of course, some sausages for my husband. And right over here, I want to show you guys that if you look, you can pick up some really good deals. And as I was walking through the meat aisle, I noticed that they had these lamb roast or leg of lamb roast at a discount. And check this out, you guys. Of course, I took advantage of that awesome sale. You can see I will be paying about $3.74 per pound. The same thing with the ground beef that I will be canning. And right over here, some sirloin tip. This is not on sale. When I visit Sam's, I always pick up one of these big ones because at $4.98 a pound, you really can't go wrong. So I like to take advantage of that. I butcher my own meat, so I know I can get several meals out of this package alone. So here's a little glimpse of what I picked up. Picked up some garbage cans to replace a couple of old ones. Of course, we have to restock our sugar. And as you can see, I didn't pick up that many things other than meat. But I'll see if I can share with you guys a copy of my receipt so you can see how much I spent in this little cart. And even though I normally don't do these kinds of videos, I leave that to the experts. I couldn't help myself because I was astonished with the reaction of the different people that I ran into. And I'm pretty sure that you guys are experiencing the same thing. So if you are, go ahead and chime in the comments, because it is important that we continue bringing awareness to the people, especially for those people that are still in denial, or maybe just woke up to the reality of what's happening with the shortages, not just because of the strike or the hurricane, but also because of what's happening with the economy. Of course, because the club was so packed, I couldn't film too much because obviously I'm not going to record people without their permission. But before I leave, I just want to mention to you guys that the most impactful image of the day for me today was this young man, and when he turns the corner to the aisle where they keep the bottled water, paper towels, and toilet paper, he let go of his cart and put his hands on his head in shock that the entire aisle was wiped out. In other words, it was completely empty, as you can see from these images. So I wish I could have recorded more. Like I said, this is not the type of videos that I do. I figure maybe if I can help somebody be aware of what's happening, that's good enough for me. Coincidentally, this morning I was talking to my dad, who was compelled to call me today to let me know that despite my effort to warn him to run to the store and pick up what he needed, he didn't listen and waited until today. And when he showed up at the local Sam's Club in Puerto Rico, he found exactly what I just talked about, empty shelves. That being said, he shared an anecdote from when he was a little boy. And my dad is 80 years old, almost 81. And it was very interesting for me to hear him say the options that they had in terms of toilet paper. And would you believe that he told me that back in those days, which would have been in the 40s, maybe 50s, they relied in corn husk as a means for toiletry. So that's pretty interesting. Another thing he mentioned is that they would use the jaltia or malanga leaves to wipe. So it was very interesting for me to hear that. And even though he's 80 years old, almost 81, anytime I come to him with a warning or maybe just some advice to get prepared, for the most part he listens, even though he's in his 80s. I know that this is probably very shocking for them, because I honestly believe they didn't think that in their lifetime they would have to worry about these sort of things. But here we are in 2024 experiencing similar things to what they did. So there goes the proof that these are cycles, and obviously we are bound to see this happen again. It's always wise to speak to our elder. I do talk to my dad a lot about the old days and to my mom, and it's very interesting to hear what they have to say. The way it's supposed to work is that we learn from our elders, and that's very important. Pay attention to what they have to say. I know lately people are so busy, sometimes they don't even find the time to talk to their elders, but that is important. I recall many of my conversations with my grandmother, my grandfather, even to this day with my mom and my dad. And sometimes my mom and my dad are surprised to hear that I remember those things, because even though I did not grow up in a time where things were that bad, we still went through some difficult times. I was not exempt from it. One of the takeaways from that is that I learned survival and prepping skills. And thanks to that, today I can say that a lot of the things that I put into practice, I learned from them. And if you haven't considered prepping, I hope this video helps you understand that the panic buying is real, especially this week. Maybe this video will encourage you. And if it does, drop me a comment below the video. Let me know your thoughts. And until next time, I'm Evita, cooks and preps. Stay healthy, prepped, prayed up, and safe, everyone. And I'll see you on the next video.